Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. On November 1st, 2025, the Philippines made a historic move by unveiling a new national maritime map, a moment that marked a turning point in the country's ongoing struggle for sovereignty in the South China Sea. The unveiling was not just a routine government announcement, it was a powerful statement to the world, signaling Manila's determination to assert its rights over its maritime territories. This bold step directly challenges China's sweeping and controversial claims in the South China Sea, a region long marred by tension and competing interests. For years, China's expansive nine-dash line has been a source of friction, overshadowing the rights of smaller nations like the Philippines. But this map is more than just a document. It's a bold assertion of Philippine sovereignty, rooted in international law and the landmark 2016 arbitral ruling from The Hague. That decision rejected China's nine-dash line as having no legal basis, affirming the Philippines' rights to its exclusive economic zone and the resources within it. By updating its map, Manila is reinforcing its legal victory and sending a clear message that it will not be intimidated. The South China Sea is far more than a regional dispute, it's a vital global trade artery, with trillions of dollars worth of goods passing through its waters every year. For the Philippines, this is not just about lines on a map, but about protecting the livelihoods of millions who depend on fishing, shipping, and maritime commerce. Manila's move is a high-stakes stand for international law, economic security, and the future of its people. The new map also signals a strategic shift. Manila is not standing alone, it is strengthening alliances with regional and global partners, modernizing its coast guard, and investing in new patrol vessels to better protect its waters. Defense officials are meeting with foreign diplomats, seeking support and cooperation to ensure the country's maritime security. At the same time, the Philippines is meticulously documenting every Chinese incursion into its waters, gathering evidence and building a case for the international community. Coast Guard teams are on constant alert, recording encounters and monitoring the movements of foreign vessels in disputed areas. This act of defiance forces the world to confront a critical question. Can smaller nations defend their rights and sovereignty against the ambitions of a superpower? The Philippines' stand is a test case for the international order, and its outcome will resonate far beyond Southeast Asia. As tensions rise, the world watches closely. The Philippines has drawn a symbolic line in the water, daring China to cross it, and the stakes could not be higher. Crowds in Manila follow every development, aware that their nation's future hangs in the balance. The implications of Manila's defiant stand will ripple from Washington to Tokyo, shaping the future of sovereignty, international law, and the global order for years to come. The South China Sea dispute is rooted in centuries of history, where ancient trade routes, colonial ambitions, and shifting borders have all left their mark on the region. For generations, these waters have been a crossroads for merchants, fishermen, and navies, each leaving behind stories and claims that echo into the present day. Yet, it's the framework of modern international law that now defines the boundaries of today's battle. Treaties, conventions, and legal precedents have replaced the old maps and oral traditions, setting the stage for a new kind of contest, one fought not just on the water, but in courtrooms and diplomatic halls. At the heart of the dispute is China's sweeping nine-dash line, a claim that stretches across nearly the entire South China Sea. This line, drawn from ambiguous historical records, directly clashes with the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, which grants coastal states a 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, an internationally recognized boundary that China's claim ignores. Scarborough Shoal, a small but strategic reef just 124 nautical miles from the Philippine island of Luzon, became a flashpoint in 2012. That year, China seized control of the shoal, deploying Coast Guard vessels and blocking Filipino fishers from waters they had relied on for generations. The standoff marked a turning point, transforming a simmering dispute into a headline, grabbing international crisis. But this conflict isn't just about lines on a map. It's about access to rich fishing grounds, untapped oil and gas reserves, and the daily survival of coastal communities. For many Filipinos, the South China Sea is not an abstract legal issue. It's their source of food, income, and identity. National pride and sovereignty are at stake, as well as the right to determine their own future. The Philippines has taken a firm stand, insisting that UNCLOS, not ancient history or vague maps, should determine maritime rights and responsibilities. Filipino leaders have brought their case to international courts, seeking legal clarity and global support in the face of a much larger neighbor. China's refusal to accept these legal rulings has put it at odds not only with the Philippines, but also with other Southeast Asian nations and the very foundations of international law. The dispute has sparked protests, diplomatic standoffs, and a growing sense of unease across the region. Ultimately, the South China Sea conflict is a collision between a rules-based international order and unilateral claims backed by power. It's a test of whether law or might will shape the future of one of the world's most vital waterways. For Manila, the stakes are both practical and existential, touching every aspect of national life, from security and economy to the very idea of what it means to be sovereign in the modern world. In 2013, the Philippines took China to court under UNCLOS, seeking clarity on maritime rights, not sovereignty. The 2016 Hague Tribunal ruled overwhelmingly for the Philippines, declaring China's 9-line baseless and condemning its interference at Scarborough Shoal. China flatly rejected the ruling, dismissing it as meaningless and refusing to comply. Instead of backing down, Beijing ramped up its island building and militarization in the region. The legal victory became a paper shield, powerful in principle but unenforceable on the water. Manila's win exposed the limits of international law when faced with raw power. The struggle shifted from the courtroom to the high seas. The year 2025 has witnessed a dramatic escalation in maritime tensions between the Philippines and China, with a series of increasingly dangerous confrontations at sea. These incidents have not only alarmed the region, but have also drawn the attention of the international community, as both nations assert their claims over the contested waters of the South China Sea. In September, a Philippine humanitarian mission attempting to deliver aid near Scarborough Shoal was intercepted by 9 Chinese Coast Guard vessels. The Chinese ships unleashed powerful water cannons, causing significant damage to the Philippine vessel and injuring several crew members. The attack was widely condemned, with images of the battered ship and its shaken crew circulating across global media, highlighting the risks faced by those operating in these disputed waters. These are not isolated events. Over the past months, Filipino crews have faced blockades, aggressive ramming maneuvers, and even the use of military-grade lasers by Chinese vessels, which have reportedly caused temporary blindness and disorientation among Filipino sailors. Such tactics have raised serious concerns about the safety of maritime operations and the potential for accidental escalation. In response, the Philippine Coast Guard has made it a priority to document every encounter in detail, using cameras and public briefings to share evidence with the world. This strategy of transparency is designed to rally international support and to show that the Philippines is committed to upholding international law in the face of intimidation. As both sides continue to trade accusations, the world is left watching a modern-day David versus Goliath struggle unfold on the high seas. The stark contrast between the smaller Philippine vessels and the imposing Chinese ships has become a powerful symbol of the broader geopolitical contest. Philippine officials consistently frame their actions as legitimate self-defense and a stand for sovereignty, while Chinese spokespersons insist they are simply enforcing their own maritime laws. Each side presents its narrative to the world, hoping to sway international opinion in its favor. The war of words between Manila and Beijing is as intense as the standoffs at sea, with both governments using media and diplomatic channels to press their case. The rhetoric has grown sharper, reflecting the rising stakes and the deepening mistrust between the two countries. With each new clash, the risk of miscalculation grows, raising the stakes not just for the Philippines and China, but for the entire region. As ASEAN leaders and other stakeholders call for restraint and dialogue, the world watches anxiously, hoping that diplomacy can prevail over confrontation in the South China Sea. China's tactics have grown more sophisticated, blending intimidation with legal maneuvering. In January 2025, China sent its massive monster ship into the Philippine EEZ, a show of force meant to intimidate. The Philippines responded with its own patrols, refusing to back down, despite the power imbalance. China also declared Scarborough Shoal a national nature reserve, using environmental claims to justify restricting Filipino access. This lawfare, combined with a constant maritime militia presence, aims to normalize Chinese control. Beijing's strategy is to slowly erode Manila's ability to operate in its own waters. Each move tests Philippine resolve and international patience. The contest is as much about narrative and legality as it is about ships. The Philippines knows it can't stand alone, so it's building alliances. Its revitalized defense pact with the US, expanded military exercises with Japan and Australia, and new security partnerships send a clear message to Beijing. Joint patrols and training drills boost Manila's capabilities and signal collective resolve. The trilateral partnership with the US and Japan is now a cornerstone, with tangible support like patrol vessels and radar systems. This integrated deterrence strategy internationalizes the dispute, raising the cost of aggression. Manila's approach is to combine resilience with allied support. The West Philippine Sea is now a global concern, not just a local fight. The Philippines is leveraging diplomacy to defend its rights. The conflict's impact is felt most by Filipino fishing communities, whose livelihoods are devastated by Chinese blockades. The South China Sea is a vital shipping lane. Instability here threatens global trade and could disrupt supply chains worldwide. Environmental damage is catastrophic. China's island building has destroyed coral reefs, endangering fish stocks and marine biodiversity. Overfishing by massive fleets further strains the ecosystem, risking collapse. The region's economies are deeply tied to China, making retaliation a constant threat. Manila must balance defending its rights with avoiding economic fallout. The stakes are economic, environmental, and existential. The world's prosperity and the ocean's health hang in the balance. Experts say the 2016 Arbitral Award gives Manila legal and moral high ground, but it's not self-enforcing. China's gray zone tactics, using Coast Guard and militia, not Navy, keep tensions below the threshold of open war. This forces Manila and its allies to respond firmly, but carefully, to avoid escalation. ASEAN's unity is tested, but there's growing support for a binding code of conduct. Regional cooperation, like joint patrols, could build resilience and transparency. The consensus. Manila's strategy of transparency and alliance building is rational and necessary. Caving to coercion would set a dangerous global precedent. The Philippines is walking a tightrope, balancing law, diplomacy, and deterrence. The Philippines' stand is a front line in the global contest between law and force. If international law can be ignored by the powerful, the entire world order is at risk. The South China Sea is a global commons. Its stability is vital for all. This is about real people, fishers blocked from their waters, Coast Guard crews risking their lives, and scientists watching reefs vanish. The world must not be passive. Global solidarity and engagement are essential. The international community must support Manila and demand respect for the 2016 ruling. The Philippines' new map is a line drawn for all who believe in a rules-based future. It's a stand that deserves global support.